Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Boy Sean, aka We are back with another episode of Talking Movies. I got my co-host today, Varangian Vigilante. How's it going, man?
Fantastic week so far, enjoying vacation. This weekend, super busy. Like the stream now, like it was already the pre-charging of the Mr. Olympia contest. And after the stream are the Mr. Olympia like Friday finals, then tomorrow the whole day. And then of course Sunday, even though it's like one of the least interesting premium live events, is a crown jewel. I'm gonna watch after, probably gonna watch it live in the night. So it's gonna be a stacked weekend. How about you, Sean?
Well, you got a stacked weekend coming up. I had a stacked weekend this past weekend. Oh man! And
in the best kind of way.
Did you watch the live stream that we did?
No, I didn't have time, Zadie. Hey, Asia!
Hey, what's going on?
Good to see you back.
Well, since she's here, I'm gonna say go check out the last live stream I did. It was Sunday night. We ain't get back to Steve's place till like after 10, and I was contemplating, like, man, do I want to do this live? Because I brought my laptop with me. And then Dave's like, go ahead, man, let's go live. We went live. I'll cut a promo. He had his mask on, so he cut the Making Mangler promo, and we sold off books. It was an amazing time hanging out with those guys. So, man, check out the live stream. You will be thoroughly entertained by it.
I will check it out probably the next week. Yeah, like this week is like things are happening. It's like crazy.
Yeah, so yeah, I had a great time with those guys.
Yeah, because last weekend I watched the NWA, the Samhain.
Yeah, I saw the video for this.
That one was freaking awesome. So basically, so I'm also into we're gonna also get the NWA live streams.
And then you'll be getting these from me, these AOK and WCW cards. Since you've been on the WCW binge watch for the last couple months, so these are appropriate.
I miss WCW so much. It was like the time of my youth. It was the best time watching WCW. On German sports television. But today we are gonna talk a very underappreciated movie. I would say most people don't know it exists anymore. Unknown, yeah. From 1987, Timestalkers, or like the same German, the Zeitfalle, the time trap, and weirdly enough, like I stumbled upon this movie when we did our homage show, when Terry Funk passed away. So we were talking about Roadhouse, and I saw this movie in his filmography where I'm like, that sounds interesting, science fiction. And then I looked at it, and I was like, wait a moment, like Michael Schultz, like the last Dragon, Michael Schultz directed it, and I was like, what? It's like Klaus Kinski is in it. It's a Kinski movie that I haven't seen yet.
And then we saw Terry Funk's name on there. Like, oh, Terry Funk is in there.
So basically, like, we gotta talk this movie. So I got it on DVD, since there's luckily like a German DVD release on it. Nice. I think it's also on YouTube if anyone wants to see it.
I watched it on YouTube.
Yeah, and I think it's not the best movie that was ever made, but I think it's a movie that is unrightfully forgotten. Like, it's a science fiction movie that plays like in the recent time in 1986, but also feel like in the Wild West.
Yeah.
So it's quite for science fiction, like quite an unusual concept. Because it's always like science fiction movie that plays sometimes with the West, but there's not like a shitload of it. Or at least I don't have seen a shitload of them. So this one is really enjoyable. Like, I think that the plot is, of course, time travel. Plot.
It could be convoluted with time travel. So I think the way they did this movie was very simplistic, and they kept the more focus on the three main leads and their goals. Like, we know the goal of Cody, who was played by Klaus Kinski. He was back in time to try and take somebody out, but we don't know who.
Exactly.
Even he really don't know how to navigate through it. He's just going trying to get information from the people there to go his way. Then we have the current time period in 1986 where there's scientists there. He's like a professor, Scott McKenzie. You know, the beginning of the movie kind of starts out rough on him because he's playing cowboys with his son, and you know his wife and his kid are getting ready to go to school, and a terrible accident happened. You know, it's police chase coming. The car actually hits them and starts to go on fire. So he loses his family at the beginning of the movie, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's like, of course, heartbreaking. On the other hand, it's also a good introduction to the character, so you immediately like feel very sympathetic for him, and then like the movie like switches to more like
like a 1 year jump without letting you know it's a 1 year.
Yeah, but it's so then you also really like in the beginning that they're then showing like on a shooting range. So he truly got lost in this hobby, like fully embracing the Wild West. Because there's nothing else anymore there for him.
Because you can tell, like from his background, he grew up like watching westerns and stuff. That was something that he loved, and he was teaching his son, you know, playing cowboys and stuff. So that was pretty important to the character.
Yeah, and also very important. Hey, Kenneth, also really good important to the plot because I really like in the beginning that it was already established that he's like a good shot, which of course. It's also very important later in the movie. Hey, Stone Cold.
On the way to the airport, man. It's been a fantastic week with G, man.
Send him a plane to Austria.
Yeah, because they're already dreading going back to Wisconsin, considering that it's real cold, and they just came off the beach yesterday. So
yeah.
But yeah, I hope he have a safe trip back. Him and Mrs. G, awesome people to meet.
Also, send them my regards.
There you go. But yeah, I love that whole introduction of that character. There he is.
Yeah, man, the myth, the legend.
Hey, G man, I like how you on the beach, but yet you could not miss Bueller's live streams. You know, no matter what. But yeah, I like the introduction of his character. You feel sympathy for him, and you also get a taste of what he loved, which was westerns, and him practicing on the gun range is actually very important to the plot going forward.
Exactly, and then his friend was a general who's portrayed by I think John Ratzenberger. Yeah, John Ratzenberger, General Brodsky. He's also like a western freak, and they go to a western auction together. And I also really like how this played out, you know, when they showed like the artifacts of the auction, and you know when they touch a knife and immediately like you had like this flashback of when this knife was forged. So I think it was really well done how they switch between the timelines.
And I like how at the auction they're bidding on two cases,
mystery
trunks.
boxes.
The trunks, and then it flashbacks to the past where Cody is having this encounter with three outlaws who, you know, he was questioning about where he could find them, and they wouldn't give him information. So they confronted him outside. One of them shoot one of the trunks, and we see that hole in the future already. So that's how it got the bullet hole in it. Mike
Schultz is such a talented director. Especially since, you know, when you watch his movies, either they're TV movies or they're like cult classics like The Last Dragons, or like even, of course, when you did like episodes like in TV series, like I think Ally McBeal, they're always so well constructed, you know. They don't have lengths, they're not boring. He doesn't drag things out, like, but he also does not like rush into things. Like he's a very good, a very well paced. Well-paced talent of storytelling.
Yeah, he's another director that he directed a lot of great films, but his name ain't mentioned when it comes to great directors.
Yeah,
you know, and it's great that, you know, we've talked Last Dragon, we're talking this one, and it'd be great to dive into more of his.
Because it's very interesting. Because so far I have never seen something by him where I was like, oh, this was a waste of time. Now so far everything over delivered. Like, I didn't expect much from this movie, and this is for sure a movie that I'm gonna keep watching every once in a while.
So I like the whole back and forth parallel of what happened in the West while concurrently happening in the present with them, the briefcases.
Yeah.
And, you know, the professor, you know, goes through the cases and he sees the photos and stuff. And, you know, he's studying one of the photos and notices that Kinski's character, Cody, is wielding a 1980 357 mag. And it's like, how is that possible? And he's in the 1860s.
Yes. That's and of course he does the right things. First of all, he questions the authenticity of the box and the photos, so he has that checked, and it's like turns out to be everything is gonna it's fine. So of course, when you're then a professor of history, and what I know, I studied history, and the most thing that what I have witnessed, history professors are really afraid is shit like that. Where basically their whole reputation could go down the drain. Especially with something, it's like, fuck, if there's a 1980 cult in the West and this photo, this picture is legit.
And it's funny because when he has his thesis on time travel, his students are looking at him like, this guy's crazy. Like, what?
Yeah, because this is the thing that would happen, I have witnessed professors that probably should have been in another institution. And of course, you sit there as a student and think, it's like, what the actual fuck is happening? But yeah, in science, you get great minds, but there's also some lunatics. So of course, when you a student and the professor comes in, hey, time travel is like, sure.
Now he will make great friends with Doc Brown, that's for sure. Flux capacitor can create time.
Yeah.
But another thing about that scene where the shootout, where Cody actually shoots all three guys instantaneously, one bullet for each guy. I like how they just put them bodies in the caskets. The Undertaker roll by and they take a photo of it. That's definition of Old West.
Yeah, and one of the guys, Tracy Walter, of course, we know him from Conan the Destroyer.
Yeah.
The comedic sidekick. So no wonder that Kinski shot him immediately. I don't need any comedic sidekick here, bam. And of course, also as the Joker's main henchman in the '89 Batman.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. In general, this movie has so many well-known names and fantastic actors as side characters that we only see in a glimpse of time, like James Avery, the Shredder, the voice of the Shredder,
Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil, this year sadly late, Avery, but also of course the reason we stumbled upon this movie, Terry Funk, who before has a very very little conversation with Kinski's character, the stranger, Dr. Colt, that when he just said, he just gave him basically direction.
Yeah. He only had one line in the movie, but just the thought of Kinski and Terry Funk
sharing sharing his bed.
It's like, God, I need more of these two together because it was crazy, Just throwing Roddy Piper that we're gonna talk next week when Hell Come to Frogtown. And the amount of insanity would have been off the roof.
Yeah, this is one of these moments where I'm where when two your phantoms collide and have this weird crossover, where you have one of the nicest men that ever existed, Terry Funk, and probably one of the most wild creatures that ever walked the earth, Klaus Kinski on the same position. You can get more
I mean,
put everything in that.
even Klinsky and James Avery, together in that scene. What up, Al? Hey, Al, just confirm we're doing the show tomorrow, because tomorrow we're gonna show off a lot of great stuff. If we have a show tomorrow on the Comic Call, we're gonna talk a lot about our adventure this past weekend, because hanging with this man, him and Matt, along with G-Man, was just amazing, And the AOK they gift me is it's awesome. It's awesome, man.
Al is also most definitely like on a list of people that I would really love to meet.
Gotta build that portal, man.
Yeah. Time to portal up.
But yeah, just like James Avery and Kinski's scene, where he's asking about where the Silver Star gunman is, and that's the thing. All right, it'll be next week. All right, thanks for letting me know that. But that's the thing. It's like this movie also has this scene, well, not a scene, but a mysterious gunman that we don't know until halfway through the movie who the character is. And it's like he's looking for this mysterious gunman to stop him from saving the people that's being arrested, who we later find out is the president at the time.
Yeah, I really like how this movie plays, with research. Like, okay, we have like this unknown, and we're gonna research it and we're gonna find out. So, I really like the scene, when he researched the picture, and also later when they were looking for a place where this is like the finale is happening, where they were analyzing like a song that was about this historic event. So it's really, this movie has a fantastic mix of different genres in it, and it's just like it keeps you like engaged. Hey, thanks, Al. Yeah, I really hope in the future, like probably it's like I would have to make like a US tour if I ever visit the US.
Oh wait, man, we got you. If you come down, come hang with us, man. You ain't got to worry about nothing else in the United States but hanging with us. And I just want to say the person that he was likely to kill was the advisor to President, which was Grover Cleaver at that time. Yeah. But yeah, I love the investigation aspect of this. Of course, while he's doing his sermon at the school, we get introduced to a new character, Georgia Crawford,
who comes out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, The one thing I do like the aspect of time travel, where they appear there, and it's not like the Terminator, which you got to be completely naked to do it. They just appear with a lightning flash and a burning circle, and it's all good,
Yeah, I mean, just think like in the West, and suddenly like there would be a naked Kinski appearing in front of you. Every woman would be in danger.
But she appears and she goes to the school and she tells the professor later on that she understands his work. She appreciates the theory of time travel, his thesis. And he's actually surprised that somebody actually, liked his work, So she goes there and she starts reading up on his stuff, and they starts to question things, especially the photograph. And that's when they go on to their investigation trip. Now, keep in mind, he still don't understand what she's really about, but he ain't really got nothing else going on, so he might as well just tag along and do the whole research and drive around the different spots where Kinski's character is hitting up.
I also really like how her character was written. That it's not just like it's like very non-subtle and very blatantly done as a movie. Like, I am from the future. No, she like truly realizes, wait, well, like I would sound like a lunatic.
Yeah, she keeps it on the low.
Yeah, exactly, and she's establishing like trust first before, like, to hit somebody with a bombshell like this.
Because you can't just come out and say that I'm from the future, because they're gonna I written about time travel. But damn, man, what the hell are you talking about? You from the future?
Yeah,
You know,
like,
you got to slowly ease that in. You know, and let them build that trust.
Yeah, because as we know, like the human mind is something very fragile. So
and he already liked the fact that she appreciates his work.
Yeah,
you know, and when we find out later that his work is what lead to the formation of time traveling and the creation of the diamond that they use to travel, you know, that's where he's like, really, you know, my work, you know, I will be appreciative.
And this is another fantastic thing how the movie does it. You know, how to weave these characters together, because of course, a comic book champ.
Because another of course, guy that I hung out with this past weekend again. The Heroes After Dark crew, awesome group of fellas, man.
Sweet. But yeah, because like how their characters are basically woven together within the storyline, because of course Colt that basically did like the last part of the work, like to really establish time travel, which was of course based on Mackenzie's like work. So that was really done well, and also like, you know, this movie only shows the future in a very short passage, but it's long enough because it's also just there to really give some exposition, like what are Colt's goal and why did he travel to the past? Because in the future, the world is very peaceful, so there's no more wars. And
I thought the future scene was good to give some backstory on Cole's character.
Yeah,
you know,
especially since they really shut like his project down, because rightfully so. They said, like, you know, time travel is actually a little bit too dangerous.
It is.
It is.
And anybody that gets their hands on a device that can travel through time can do anything with it.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, the future stuff with him involved, focusing on him, I thought was important because it shows why he's doing what he's doing. You know, he felt like he put his life work into this, and now they're taking it away from him.
Yeah.
So now you got a reason why he's doing what he's got to do. Even if it's cruel as a way of saying, yeah, my partner, though, who was played by John Considine, he played Dr. Crawford in the future, but he's also in the past as Matthew Crawford. And he's the father. The future version is the father of Georgia Crawford.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of intertwining things.
It's time travel, but you know, for a time travel plot, this one is really good.
Because what Dr. Joseph Cole's looking at is, if they won't let me have my work, I'm gonna go back in time and wipe out the great grandfather, and that way erase the Crawfords from existence. That way they won't exist and they won't challenge me to have my work.
You know what? This totally sounds like a thing that Kinski would do for real.
So that whole future scene actually showed the backstory of his character, as opposed to not knowing anything about him.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I was surprised at is when Georgia goes to the past to try and see if she can spot him, and the horse that she was riding got rattled by a rattlesnake of all things. Cole notices that somebody is watching him, and he sees her and follows her back. She goes back to the future, literally, like I'm saying, back to the future. And then he investigates and then pinpoints the time that she goes to and follows her at that point of time.
Yeah,
so
I really
that was
like
kind of
that
unexpected.
Yeah,
I did not expect that. You know, you would think that he would have stayed on his mission, but then he wising up and he said, "Well, if somebody followed me here," and he uses this device to check out, you know, the locations, the areas, what weapons are there, and he noticed that her character was from the future that he was from. He's like, well, I might as well follow her back because now she may know something.
Yeah, I also like the the effects with the future with the crystal, with the technology. You have this really nice, what was it, like this handmade neon lights effects that I very much love, and that we also have seen in the last Dragon,
Yeah.
like a little similar. So I really like that one, and yeah, like this is also where I have the quote from this, when he travels into the 80s and he saw like the car.
Oh
And
yeah,
he
the
wrote, yeah,
insignia.
the numbers on the insignia. The insignia? You mean like a license plate? This is also very well played because I also really like that there's like the things for the future that he has not seen in the past. So of course he uses like ROM descriptions. So that was very well done. And
I just like how it throws you off by having him follow her to that point in time, and then using that point to say, well, if I'm here, I might as well gather some information.
Yeah, and also like shout out like to whoever put like the title in there, because Timestalkers, everybody stalks here, everybody through time, so really fits the whole plot.
Yeah, it does. And when she gets back, that's when she tells Scott that she's from the future. And at first he's a bit taken aback by it.
Yeah, naturally.
But then the more he goes on with it, he's like, if they created something that I made through a thesis and the writing of it, then she can't be wrong. And once he sees the device and all that, like he's a believer, and he's 100% involved in trying to help this case. And that's when the investigation mode picked up even more.
Yeah.
Because now he got to contact his partner for the information he has on the Crossfire. But of course, Kingsty Cole is also on the run. Yeah. And I like how, the cop came and he parked at a little side corner, and the cop tells him, to move, and he got his hand on his pistol about ready to pop off. But then the cop just wanted him to move. So he asked him a question of where's the university, and he points him in that direction. So right now he's going to the university to get information.
Yeah.
So again, it's like the subtle things that they do in this movie is actually quite intelligent with these characters. They're all trying to get information, and they're all trying to get it so they can go back to the past to stop what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's like the characters are so interesting, and it's so well paced, and also like when you have like an actor Kinski there, Kinski steals every scene.
Yeah.
What I really love about it is, his character is actually like very reasonable in this.
Yeah,
so
he's not overly villainous.
Yeah, he doesn't kill anybody that does not attack him first, except of course his mission is to erase like one bloodline completely from history. But like the thing is, because he's Kinski, the scene with Terry Funk, also the scene later with James Avery, even though he's like very reasonable in the scenes and he's just really, asking and information, but just the fact that it is Kinski gives every scene like attention.
Yes.
Like yes. Something could happen.
Like it's like you're almost waiting for something to happen because it's him. If it was any other man, it's you like, alright, whatever. But because it's played by Kinski, you just feel like he's gonna flip the script and just turn on anybody. But he was playing very reasonable, and I was kind of like, at the beginning of the movie, the first half hour, I was wondering whether he was a villain or not.
Yeah, and also like maybe this also plays like to the great talent of Schultz, and like you already said, like in the pre-show, that it would be so interesting to talk with Schultz about like how it was shooting with Kinski, because in this movie Kinski doesn't seem like pissed off.
He seems calm.
Yeah, so it's really interesting if this was like one of the rare occasions when he actually enjoyed being on a movie set.
The only scene where you could see like a little bit of his anger was when he was arguing with Crawford over the time travel
Yeah.
device. That was the only scene where you like, all right, he's gonna go wild. He's gonna go Penske crazy.
Yeah.
But he ended up coming up with a plan and using time travel to take out the Crawfords. Like I said, it's horrible, but at the same time, it's kind of ingenious of him.
Yeah, and what I also really like, of course, because the best thing is to watch Kinski in spaghetti western, and of course, most of all the great silence, which is,
yes,
I think personally, I think it's Kinski's best movie. Like
performance-wise, acting-wise, yeah.
Like basically, like this eerie performance is just fantastic, especially with the ending of the movie. So it was for me also very interesting, even though it's a science fiction western, like to see him like in an American TV western. You have like this comparison for like with his spaghetti western with this one, and it's interesting because of course like an American TV movie wouldn't go the lengths that to cruelty that an Italian western would go. But like I said, it's like it's Kinski. He gives every scene is like on the edge, like there's tension there.
When he went to Scott McKenzie's house and started pelvising to there, and the cops showed up, I was like, oh, somebody getting killed.
Yeah, I know.
But
hey, Jeff.
What up, Jeff? Cantonese comic kid in the place. But yeah, like again, like he's going to get information, and then he goes to the base where the general is at.
Yeah,
Scott's buddy, and at first, he kind of went easy on him. He knocked him out and stuff. He wanted the information, and the general told him it's in the drawer. And then the general, all of a sudden, he got like little spar with the blades on it. Another Western tool. Because that's what they put on their boots. And he went to jab Kinski in the side of the face, but it didn't take him out. And he ended up paying for it dearly. That's the only kill where it's like, yo, that was ruthless. But again,
he was provoked.
He was provoked. He let him live to get the information so he can get out of it. But he had to do what he had to do, and he killed the general. And this is where Scott was like, man, this is personal now.
Yeah, because it's like basically the last person in your timeline you cared about, like your best friend, taken out. So, which also, of course, I think also really plays well. Then when they have like in the finale, the shootout.
Yeah. But yeah, I like how when he sees his friend down, he grabs the gun out of his drawer and goes on the hunt.
Yeah.
And again, it's like it's so well acted for a TV movie. TV movies can be hit or miss.
Exactly.
There's some good TV movies, and there's some TV movies that are just like straight up terrible.
If I would see this in the cinema, I would be satisfied with this movie.
Yeah, and I felt for the TV budget they had, I thought it was utilized well.
Exactly. But what I also really like, let's go back to the beginning. When Kinski was like in the Western time. When I saw him for the first time, where I thought first it's like his clothes look a little bit too new. But then of course you figure out there's a reason for that they look new, because he just picked the new from the future before he went in the past.
And I like that they showed that in the future when he put on the coat and the hat and took the Magnum out the glass case.
And also before he shot Tracy Walter's character, when he asked him, hey, how did you come here? And then it's like, first he wrote here, like, your clothes look way too clean.
Way too clean. Because we've seen enough Westerns, especially spaghetti Westerns.
Yeah.
They look dirt.
Yeah.
Dirt. But his shit looked immaculate.
Exactly. So it's like, this movie is also, again, it's more intelligent. You would give it credit for, like, especially for a TV movie.
Yeah, and again, it's like credit to Schultz, credit to the writers, and credit to the actors for doing a great job on what is essentially something that's made for TV.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, TV movies could be hit or miss, and this is one of those exceptions where this one was a hit.
Yeah, if even if it's only one person who watches a stream, found out about this movie and enjoys it, it's already been worth it.
And the movie is on YouTube, people. You can watch it on YouTube. So after you watch us talk about it,
Yeah.
or you can stop right now and just go watch the movie on YouTube, because it's well paced. You know, even the down moments have so much information that you have to listen to, because it's like you'll miss certain details, especially when it comes to this movie with time travel and the investigation portion of it. It's important to listen to everything.
Yeah, and it's a very coherent movie, you know. You're never in there and you wonder, it's like, what the fuck did I get into? The storytelling is very detailed, and it always, you know, it's like there's like always a mystery in there, but the movie also leads you by the hand and doesn't just like, hey, find it out.
Yeah, and when we find out that Georgia's father, you know, not her father, but you know, the original, the great grandfather is the one that comes to save the advisor for the president.
Yeah,
because the bandits are there to rob them and take everything they have, but he's the one that saves the day, as they find out. But then Kinski's character is there to shut him down and take him out. And he's a big reason why. So he don't even care about the whole bandits.
Exactly.
He's just there for that.
And the fun thing is really that he succeeds. But then, of course, Mackenzie steps into the role because, hey, I'm also a stranger. So they also don't know who I am. And
I love, at first, you don't even bother trying to question how many bullets these guys have in the gun. Like, don't bother questioning that, because
you know, if you're watching a movie and you start questioning this, then
don't question that. Just go with the flow and how the movie told. But I like how he has no fear whatsoever. His practicing on shooting guns early in the film comes into play, and it's like the bandits attack the wagon, and they're just taking out all the men around it. But then he gets on the horse, starts shooting, and he don't miss at all. He takes all of them out, or at least most of them out. And I was like, damn, that practice was good for him.
Yeah.
But Kenzie shoots the horse. He goes down on the horse, but then he gets up. And there's a certain amount of respect that Mackenzie's has. Because he tells Cole, can you get off, sir? You know, because he wants that final showdown. But the way he uses the word sir, as to say, it's still a level of respect that's how he was raised, and that's how he's gonna tell somebody to say, hey, can you get off the horse, sir? We can have this showdown.
And this is exactly how rivalries in academic should be dealt with. Not like jokes aside, it's I really like, you know, when they have like the duel, how much respect they have for each other. Like, you know, of course, like there's Kinski has all the reasons to hate Colt. But, you know, you clearly see, you know, when they're dueling, okay, it's a fair duel.
Yeah, because he knows who he is in terms of Mackenzie. He knows who he is and how important he is. Imagine if he killed him at that time point. I'm talking about if Kinski killed him at that time point, then what would that lead to the future? Because you're trying to kill Crawford, but what if you kill the man who is important to the integrity of time travel?
Yeah.
You talk about time paradox, man. That would have been something.
Yeah.
They're both out of time. So it's like
way out of time.
So it's like, man, this movie is so good that you start thinking about the possibility of what would have happened had Mackenzie died there.
Yeah.
So I love that standoff though.
That standoff is really good. That standoff is worthy of a spaghetti western.
It is. I damn near want to hear some Morricone music behind it.
Oh, if Morricone would have done the soundtrack for this movie, I would rate it even higher.
Yeah, because the music is okay.
Yeah, is it?
It really
movies...
needed some epic music in some of the scenes.
Yeah, the movie screams. The music is the only thing about this that screams TV movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Otherwise, the acting, the story, the direction is cinematic for me.
It could have used that Morricone's score
to
go with it, and
it would have probably done it if you asked.
It would have elevated the movie even more. But man, that last show, and I like how the advisor is watching this unfold, and they're asking him, "Are you okay? And do you need help?" Like, no, man, we need to watch this and see what this is all about. And then when Mackenzie wins, the advisor wants to shake his hand. He's like, I need to shake that man's hand, not knowing that this man is not part of the time.
Yeah,
because that could have. Yeah. If Mackenzie's name would have got out at that time point, his name would have been known.
Yeah,
and he wasn't even around.
Because he wouldn't have been then the stranger then, like.
He would have been in the history books.
Yeah.
Because he would have replaced the man who saved the day. So.
But lucky for him, everything went like the time was only minimally like affected. Even
though Georgia did meet her great great granddad, see, he even said, "You look familiar." Yeah. And like, nah. She kept it brief and went back in time. I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, like I would totally give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's not the best thing ever, but it's so much better than you would expect it for like a science fiction TV western.
Yeah, and like I said, with a better score and probably some tighter other actors, it would have been a much better film. I would like tighten it up, and it would have been an 8.5.
Yeah, like I would totally say actually like that you could really remake this movie very well, but there's no more Kinski. Like lucky for all humans, but for movie wise, it's like his passing was a tragedy.
But you can't deny the man's impact as an actor.
Yeah.
As vile as he is,
the
man knows how to act. And when you get him in the right mood, he will deliver for you.
Yes. And, I think it's also like, it's, even when he hated everything about on a set, I still don't know a movie that Kinski didn't make better. Even when he's in a bad mood, it's you get Kinski.
It's a testament to some actors and directors that can tolerate the level of hatred or something like. Because when I mentioned Blue Collar and how Harvey Keitel, Richard later Inja, Harvey Keitel, Richard Pryor, and Yaphet Kotto hated each other. They hated each other on that film. And they didn't even like the director. The director, damn near, he could have died on the set because of how much hatred that was. But when you watch the movie, it's like, these guys really hate each other? Because they deliver great performances. And sometimes, no matter how much you don't like this person or that person, you still got a job to deliver a great performance. And that's a testament to Kinski. No matter how bad he was behind the scenes, he still went out there and did his job. Exactly. And that's why I was saying, I was like, I would love to hear Michael Schultz talk about this experience.
Yeah, if you ever maybe seen it at con, this is something you have to ask.
Yeah, I need to look up Michael Schultz talk about Timestalkers or something, because I want to hear his perspective of working with Kinski.
Yeah, because it's like so interesting, because you always hear even most of the stories, of course, are like it was like additional work. It was crazy, since of course like all the shit that happens on set, and also like that basically you have to keep every woman safe from him.
Which luckily there was not too many women in this movie.
Yeah. And of course, the other crazy thing when he's just threatening people left and right.
Yeah, that's why it'd be great to get some behind the scenes on this movie.
I think it was from Büchler or something, from the director. There's this nice mini movie. I think it's also on YouTube. It's called Please Kill Mr. Kinski. Like I recommend watching that. It's a really interesting one. And of course also the documentary of Werner Herzog, who did the most movies with him. Where it's like where he has like this documentary about his
he must have had a high tolerance with Kinski for him to do the most movies.
It's so interesting because one of the when we talked like Nosferatu, the remake is so fantastic with Kinski, and Herzog was not happy with how Kinski wanted to play Nosferatu. So he basically the first takes, he knew he doesn't want to take the first take, so he powered him out, so he was so tired, and then he like, oh, one more take, and then he always took the take where he was the most tired.
I'm surprised Kinski ain't bite his head off for doing that shit. But before, like, the movie ends on a good note because Georgia, she gets ready to go back to the past, and I like how Scott is like, take me with you, or
like there's nothing here for me anymore, like.
And she says she can't do that because time. But she says, I may not can break the rules, but I sure can bend them. And she takes him back to the time where the beginning of the film where his wife and his son are about ready to go to the school. And at first you're thinking, man, I know he's not gonna let this happen again because nothing's really changing. He's doing the same thing. But then when he gets to the door, it's like he had an instant memory.
It's like
and he charges to the car, tells them to move forward, and then the car jumps off the ramp and doesn't hit them, but it crashes and burns. So he saves his wife and son. And considering this, with this happening, it also saves the general because this is before all that happened. So now everything is fine and well. He got his wife and son back.
Nobody dies.
Nobody dies. And
except for the thief in the car,
who we don't know because we never saw. But,
who probably deserved it.
Yeah. But everything ends on a happy note, and she bended the rules. She didn't break it.
Yeah.
But she gave him the gift because she knew that, she saw the picture on the wall and how, he had nothing left to offer. So she said that was a parting gift from her to him.
Yeah.
So it was a very nice ending to a very good movie.
Exactly. And I every fan of science fiction western, I really recommend this movie.
Yeah, it's a great thing that we discovered through the Roadhouse stream.
Yeah, to a sad thing through Terry Funk's passing, and Terry Funk looks amazing in this movie. It's just short for a short time there, and his voice is also so good. Like, I really think there should have been more westerns with Terry Funk.
I wish he had more movie roles, though,
to
be honest. When we talked about him and with the Stallone film, he only had like 3 lines in that movie, so he didn't really talk much. Roadhouse was probably the most dialogue we've seen out of him. But he definitely got a voice because he's from Texas, that Texas voice. So he definitely could have had more movies. And I wish like him and Piper teamed up more.
Yeah.
Like, I think they would have been like an awesome buddy comedy action,
Yeah, Piper is so good in movies.
And we'll be talking Roddy Piper next week because Hell Comes to Frogtown. I gotta remind B if he's available. I'll send you the link.
Gary B should join us. And it's just so funny. Like, Gary sent me an AOK. And I was like, look, hey, he's like, he sent it 2 weeks ago. Where is it? I'm checking like the tracking code. It's like, it's in fucking Africa.
What? Are you serious?
I'm serious. It's in North Africa. It was in Morocco and it's now in Tunisia. Like, how did it get there?
I would flip out if I were to open up the tracking and see that shit.
Yeah.
What is my package doing in Africa?
I know, I sent it to him and he was like, what the fuck?
Somebody needs to be fired at that post office.
Yeah.
They fucked up. They threw it in the wrong damn bin. Trust me, I know. I worked at the post office for 5 years.
Yeah.
I know you can accidentally throw a package in the wrong bin. It goes to the wrong zip code. So somebody fucked up and put that in the wrong.
Because I was thinking like it's like Austria, Tunisia. It doesn't sound that similar.
It's an A. It leads off with A. So they saw Africa and Austria next month, and they accidentally threw it in Africa.
It's like Tunisia, Austria. Like it's crazy. It's like you look at where could it be? It's like 30 days ago it was in Casablanca. Like what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is crazy, man.
It's crazy.
I hope you get your package back.
Yeah, we'll see. It's like probably like in North Africa, they were like surprised. It's like the first time there's like something dropped in the US that's not a bomb.
Yeah, that sucks, man. That sucks. Trust me, man. When you send me packages and I send you packages, I'll be paying attention to that thing like nothing else because I'm like,
yeah. Now I also looked at it. You know, Gary sent it to me. I was looking at everything addressed, everything correct.
But they fucked up.
You don't check it and stuff. You expect many things. Once I had something was sent to Australia instead of Austria. Like this is like okay, this is like a confusion that I get. Like it landed at my place because Australia sent it to Austria then. But this is something where I'm like, okay, this is something that gets confused all the time. There's even this joke about it. There are no kangaroos in Austria. We just have cows. There's even T-shirts that are sold here. Like, I just found out that they're in Salzburg at the airport. There is like an own sector for people that wanted to visit Australia. It came to us.
They got it mixed up.
They mixed that one.
Are we in Australia? Like, nah, you in Austria.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, you might as well enjoy your trip to Austria.
It's not a bad place. Like especially like Salzburg. It's a wonderful city, but it's like there's like 20 hours plane flight between. Like,
like I said, you might as well enjoy it. You went to the wrong destination, but. What can you do? One thing's for sure, I'm not jumping on the plane after a long ass flight, and then you go to the wrong location and say, "Well, I need to go to Australia." That's a long flight too.
Yeah,
I just said, "Fuck it, man. Just get a hotel room and enjoy this for what it is."
Yeah, but yeah, like I highly recommend this movie. I said before, it's also on YouTube, so if you don't want to buy it like on DVD or something, it's great. But also, I really like the cover art. Like,
yeah, I liked that.
Yeah, it's really nice, flashy, and it's so sad. Back in the day, fucking TV movies got better cover art than nowadays cinematic movies. Like, what the actual fuck? Like, yeah.
Hey, I'll show these real quick.
Nice.
Of course, I know you've seen the video. Matt and Al. AOK these beauties. Savage Sword. This is number 44. Badass cover there.
It's a good one.
Yeah. The number 56.
Oh, I always laugh. I always laugh when they use like these green ghostly colors in the background. Big fan of vibrant colors. Especially with Savage Sword of Conan, because you always have this nice mix of like dark colors and there's something very vibrant in it.
Yep. And of course, number 65. Gotta love.
Oh yes, it's like a serpent's tits, like.
Yeah.
And you know, like Conan would still hit it.
And then Brian A-OK me this Red Sonja, Greg Horn signed 9.8. Little cheeky action there.
I mean, it's a Greg Horn, so like.
Yeah. But yeah, I if y'all seen the video on Brian's page, I didn't expect it because I was so excited with the Conan books that they hadn't be the box like this for me too. But yeah,
this is a Kiss My Ass Club that you want to join.
That's true though. This is the right one.
That's peachy.
Peach. Yeah, I got a lot of great stuff. Most of them are sitting over there. I don't feel like reaching it, but man, I might do a whole video. I saw Al said he'll probably do a live stream haul. I might tell him to send me the link. I'll join in if we do it. Yeah, it was a lot of great stuff there, man.
Yeah,
BB, you would have loved being.
I believe so. I would have loved to be there. Like.
You've seen the videos of us at the Tom storage. The books we were pulling out, those horror books, those magazines. There was so much good shit there. I was like, man, I wish I had like $500 or something, man, because it was some good books.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to dig through this box. Which is so sad because actually, I would love to be in Orlando right now because the Mr. Olympia contest is also right now in Orlando.
oh! You just set up your next vacation right there. The next Orlando one, man.
If the Mr. Olympia is like in Florida again. Because they always switch between Las Vegas and Florida the last year, so yeah, Mr. Olympia contest. That would be fantastic.
Hey, you come hang with us, and then you got the Mr. Olympia contest. That'd be awesome, man. But yeah, it was a great time. I have a lot of video for this that I have yet to compile and put together yet. So hopefully within the next week I'll slowly upload those. But yeah, you're gonna see a lot of great stuff in there, man.
Sweet, can't wait to see it. And next week I'm also gonna rewatch like all the live streams that I have missed in this week.
Yeah, definitely check the live stream I did. It was a great time. But yeah, thanks everybody that showed up to talk about this underrated film that nobody heard of until now. But shout out the Ninja. Thanks for stopping by. Great to see her. You know,
it's good that she's back again.
Yes. My bro Jeff, Cantonese Comic Kid, comic book champ. Great seeing you, the Heroes After Dark crew. Of course, Dusty Brick Brown, Steve Whiten,
Stone Cold,
and the G-Man. Have a safe flight back home. You and Mrs. G. Kenneth Bird, thanks for stopping by. Again, another great episode, great movie talk. Be sure to tune in next week when we talk Hell Comes to Frogtown.
The ultimate male fantasy.
And hopefully we'll have Gary B on there. I'm gonna see if K-pop Junkie can join us because I know she loved that movie too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a great time discussing that movie. And then after that, we on break, right?
Yes, then I'm in Prague.
Yes. So next week will be the last movie before we take a break. So it'll be interesting to see what we come up with after that.
Yes. When you see like our movie streams, the possibilities are endless.
Endless. So I hope everybody have a great weekend. And as always, be safe and enjoy yourselves out there, y'all. So peace.